Hey everybody, how's it going? We're back to Rayman. So welcome everybody to this Rayman ReSmashified live stream. Today we're going to be working on Retopology, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that don't know what that is, so I guess I'll explain it a little bit. But it'll be pretty apparent once I actually start doing it. So Retopology is essentially taking something like, it doesn't have to be a sculpt, but something that has topology that is not desirable. Topology referring to like it's hard to describe. How do you describe topology? So topology is essentially like the flow of the polygons on the mesh. So like you've got these quads here that are coming up and down, and that's sort of the edge flow of the mesh. And so if you retopologize this, you might make the edge flow go diagonally for some reason. I don't know. But most often you're dealing with retopology when you're dealing with sculpts. Sculpts. It's a funny word. So this sculpt is a lot of polygons, as you can see. You can see these individual polygons right here. And that's a really high density mesh that you can sculpt on it. But this is not going to work for a rigged model. You have to have a smaller number of vertices to be able to deform it. Like these are all vertices right here. This entire black mesh of nonsense is just a bunch of vertices, and if you were to try to rig that, it would not go well. So we're gonna retopologize, and for that I'm going to switch to my tablet pen. But yeah, so how are you guys? How is everybody? It's been a while since I streamed. It's been 2 weeks. Last week was a little bit busy, so I wasn't able to do one. But I might as well see who's in the chat. Meph says, Omni, thank you for streaming Friday nights and giving me something to watch. Why, thank you. I mean, you're welcome. My brain. Let's see, we've got Cyano Delta's in here. X Cozy Boy X, Sonic Star 64, Sandus, This Green Dingo, Mario and Luigi Plush Super Show, Tongue Twister, Devontae Edwards, not Edwards. Devontae Edwards, Carla Henry. How do you pronounce the A with the squiggly on top? I don't even know what that accent is called. I'm so sorry. Joao Pedro ST. How's it going? A bit of epicness. Milkman, Anime Kid Me, Santiago Andres, Colau Hernandez. Random Chiz, Donut Kill Me, That One Paper Artist, nice to see you here. Average Willow. How's your name said? Vidge? Is it Vidge? I'm just guessing that's how it's said. Anyway. Ultaro, how's it going? Saji, Vikram G, Daniel Orizabal, EJ74, High Powered Keys, Dakota Corliss. Alright, I'm gonna probably put an end to this for a second and actually start doing something. Oh, by the way, music. That song ended. I'm going to switch to the playlist now. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Hopefully this playlist behaves itself. It didn't last time. Toxiquid in here with a super chat for $10. Thank you so much. How has your day been? Yes, I spent $10 to say that, but I'm trying to keep my streak. You know what? Don't feel any pressure to keep that streak. You know, it's all extra. But thank you so much for doing that. Toxiquid is one of our patrons. Has been very active in the Discord server, which is not officially launched yet. We have people able to send invites now. So if you know somebody who's already in the Discord server, ask them for an invite because it's not officially launching until our first game bite. And that's actually going to be coming out, I think, this weekend. So look out for that. So let's go ahead and start working on Retopology. So what I'm going to do is I've got this this sculpt mesh here, and I'm going to create a new mesh. And let's see, where did that go? Did I really put that in the... Oh, come on, don't do that. Where did you go? Plane. Okay, there you are. So now I'm going to delete these vertices. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to bring these up. All right, so Retopology. Basically taking a high-res mesh like this and building a low-res mesh on top of it that'll get subdivided. So what I typically do, so there's a lot of ways that you can do Retopology. There's specific programs even, like TopoGun, and there's add-ons for Blender like ReTopoFlow. I am not going to be using any of those. I'm going to be going old school and just doing some classic snap to surface stuff. So what I'm going to do, this is a technique that I've started using fairly recently. Let's see. What I'm going to do is add a modifier. Well, actually, no, what's this mesh called? Head Sculpt 01, okay. And I'm going to name this one Head Retopo. So what I'm going to do is add a modifier to this. It's the shrink wrap modifier, and I'm going to use Head Sculpt 001 as the basis for that, and check it out. So what this modifier does is essentially shrink wraps the vertices of the mesh onto a specified mesh, another specified target mesh. In this case, Head Sculpt 1 is the target mesh, so essentially what you're looking at is that. These are the vertices that are being snapped to the surface. So as I continue to make things, like if I extrude this, you can see that it gets pushed down. And I'm gonna, let's see, display wireframe and all edges. Alright, check that out. So now you can see where it's getting snapped down. Now there's a lot of ways you can do this. You could just use this to snap. Where's the magnet? You could use magnetic snapping, or just snapping. The magnet is the icon. And you could just snap to faces, and if I did that, if I disable this modifier really quickly, I could just extrude this and have it snap to the surface, or I could have it project the vertices onto the surface, like this. So that's one way to handle this. Lately I've been doing the shrink wrap method because I feel like it gives me a little bit more control to snap at a distance from the mesh, and I'll show you why I do that in a little while, but for now, let's just go ahead and start doing some actual retopology. So, let's reactivate this. Now what this shrink wrap modifier does is it basically picks the closest surface point on the target mesh to snap to. So, I have a lot of control that way. Doesn't shrink wrap, JDMH asks, oh, by the way, hi. Doesn't shrink wrap work less the more geometry you have? Not that I'm aware of. I've been using it for a while and I haven't had any issue like that. You can like select specific vertex groups that you want to snap, and then it'll ignore the rest of the vertices. And that can be very helpful for different things depending on what you're trying to do. But this is going to be pretty messy looking for a little bit, which is okay, I suppose. The reason I like doing shrink wrap is because, here, let me show you. So part of the issue with snapping to the surface is when you apply a subsurface or a subdivision surface modifier to something, it usually kind of decreases the volume of the mesh, because, like, let's say I have a point like this, it's going to render that subsurface as a curve that kind of goes below the vertices, which can reduce the volume of the mesh, and that's not desirable. But what you can do with shrink wrap is you can give it an offset. Look at that. And what I can do with the offset is specify a specific vertex group and then weight paint that so I can offset it with the weight paint. And if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Talk to Quid asks, this might be an odd question, but is there going to be editing streams? Editing streams, are you talking about like editing the videos together? Because if so, probably not. That's kind of a concentration heavy process for me a lot of times. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to say never, but for now, I don't imagine that will happen. Oh, what I'm going to do also is add a mirror modifier before the subsurf, and then clipping, and look at that. We can do things like that. And should I do it before shrink wrap? Why not? Okay. Vikram G asks, hey Omni, any thoughts on Joker as character, or are you neutral on it? I've never played a Persona game, so cool for the people who have played it and are fans of that franchise. I don't really have any specific thoughts. I mean, it's cool that it's a character that is sort of outside of the Nintendo sphere. Sort of. I mean, it's not like there aren't Persona games on Nintendo consoles, but it's not super common at this point. I mean, Persona 5 hasn't been ported yet, right? So maybe it will be, and that's why it's happening. But so what I want to do with this retopology, you know what, I'm going to hide the rest of the body. It's going to get in the way. Let's see. Shoes. I guess that's it. Yeah. Mr. Junk Biscuits. So what is retopology? So retopology is essentially taking a mesh and creating a new mesh, like a new arrangement of polygons, to change the way that those polygons are arranged. So basically I've got this sculpt and it's really high resolution. It's got, you know, hundreds of thousands of polygons, and I don't want that because I can't rig that. At least my computer will hate me if I try. So I'm creating a low res mesh that gets subdivided by this subdivision surface modifier, and that lets me have fewer vertices that the rig has to deform while still letting me, you know, have a pretty good shape. And because I have this sculpt that I can snap to, I can make the shape exactly as I want it. So easily, sculpting is the better way to get the forms that you want, because, you know, sculpting is a little bit more forgiving and easier to control in a lot of ways. But eventually you want to retopologize any sculpt that you make. So that's what I am doing right now. And I was telling, DJ Thed was in here last time I was streaming, and he was saying that he wanted to see retopology process. I imagine he's probably better than me at this process. He's more experienced with Blender, but you know what? That's okay. What is this song? Oh, it's the disco from Rayman Origins. So, people who use ZBrush for sculpting typically use stuff like Z Remesher to retopologize, or I've never used ZBrush, so I can't really speak to that. But there's ways to automate this process, and Blender does not have those, you know, built in. Maybe there are add-ons that do similar things, but for me, I've been doing manual retopology for a long time, and a lot of times it's what you really want to do rather than, you know, letting an automated process do it, because sometimes the automation will produce topology that's not ideal for the deformations that you want. But I've gotten pretty good at kind of intuiting what I need to do with retopology, so. Save. Always save. Alright. Come on, Blender. You can go faster than that. What is the worst video game in history? Superman 64? I don't know. How many vertices do I have in this? 10. That's okay, right? Well, maybe I'm gonna close the nose off in the front, just for good measure. I think I'm gonna have to add another edge into this loop, but we'll find out. Let's see, boop, and then extrude this up, close it off. Maybe, yes. I could be doing this so much faster if I wasn't streaming, probably, but so see how this mesh on the outside, this cage that I've created, is super messy, but once it gets snapped to the surface, it kind of cleans itself up, which is why I like to use shrink wrap. Okay, so I'm gonna have to add another loop. There. Bam. Hey, look, we've got a nose. Look at that. Density could be a little bit higher on the top, I think. Alright. I think what qualifies as the worst video game can differ from person to person, says Conman LOL. Definitely. I mean, some people would probably consider games that are largely praised to be the worst game. I mean, it's all... Superman 64, you could consider that personally to be an amazing game. Honestly, it's all subjective. I mean, there's consensus about what games are bad and good, but it all boils down to preference and values. So, really, there's no objectively worst game. It's all gonna boil down to preferences. Like, maybe you love Superman 64 because you love games where you have to fly through rings very monotonously. Remember that time I said I was gonna speak slower? More slowly, rather? I should try to do that again. Anyway. So one of the things I want to make sure I'm doing is creating an orbit around the mouth. And that means basically just like a ring around the perimeter of the mouth. Because that will make it easier for me to do facial expressions. Meth is asking, but have you heard of big rigs though? I don't know what you're talking about, so I guess not. Alright, so I'm starting to establish an orbit around this mouth. Opinion, Atari ET is not that bad compared to other Atari games, says Joao Pedro ST. How would I say your name? Can you pronounce that? Like, can you spell it out, the syllables? I don't know how that A is supposed to be pronounced. Conman LOL says, you know what I'd like to see more of? Gex. You know, I never played Gex when I was growing up, so I don't know if it's aged well, or if it was good to begin with. A lot of those platformers from that era have sort of aged like cheese. Cam Tunist, how's it going? And thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Hey Omni, I'm one of the weird artists that enjoys Retopology. It's like a relaxing jigsaw puzzle. You know what? I find it therapeutic also. Some people think I'm crazy, including Chris. But I enjoy it, and that's why I haven't felt a strong need to upgrade to something like ZBrush, because I get by just using Blender manually retopologizing things, and characters you generally want to manually retopologize anyways, so it doesn't really bother me. So I am with you. I enjoy Retopology. It's kind of fun and relaxing. Blender is frustrating to learn, but it's kind of easy after you learn how to use it, says Samajo M. You know, I have to agree with you. Blender is weird because it doesn't follow any established paradigms for user interface and shortcuts, like keyboard shortcuts. So it's very jarring to move from any software to Blender. But once you understand, you know, the logic behind the way Blender does things, it's actually fairly intuitive. It's just that it's not like anything else, and so you have to really get used to it. And I imagine that's frustrating for some people, but, you know, that's how it be sometimes. You just gotta learn new things. I think I'm gonna continue this orbit. I'm probably delayed a little bit from this music. Hey Omni, what's your favorite thing to draw? Asks Devonte Edwards. I don't really have a favorite thing to draw. I mean, I would say that I generally enjoy drawing cartoony things more so than realistic things. Maybe because it's easier. I just think better that way. But I don't know that I have a favorite subject. Growing up, I would have told you Sonic characters, but I haven't drawn any like Sonic characters in a serious capacity in a long time. Whatever a serious capacity means. Add another edge here. And I think I'm going to... You know what? I'm going to rip these faces apart. That sounds violent if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to bridge these edge loops. Bridge. So I can have another loop, another orbit in there that I can join these two with. There you go, look at that. So I want some orbits around the eyes as well, because those need some pretty significant deformations. In fact, I might just add another loop cut through here, just to have the added topology. More density means less volume loss, and also more flexibility. Mef says, oh, and by the way, Omni, Brazil loves you. I don't know if you could speak for the whole country, but I appreciate that. Oops. By the way, guys, feel free to warn me if the music is, like, repeating itself every now and then. It happened during the Pokemon stream, which just overall was sort of a train wreck for me. I think I bit off more than I could chew with that one, and I wasn't really in the mood to be streaming that day, which is why I let myself take a week off last week. Mewy Marsher asks, is this model being made with the intention of being hacked into Ultimate? And if so, how many tries are you aiming for? So this specific model that I'm making right now is going to be a high-res for the render that I'm going to be making, but I imagine I could take this, or somebody could take this and easily make a low poly mesh out of it. That's assuming that the topology I'm making now isn't. No, if I just unsubdivided it, if it wasn't suitable. But I don't have any intention of doing it myself, so I don't know if that answers your question. Jacob Miraculous. Nope, Jacob Miralicious? Jacob Miralicious. Would Rayman be up for download? So the model that I'm making right now is definitely going to be downloadable by patrons, and I might make it available in some form to the general public as well. Jury's still out on that, but I would keep an eye out on Twitter maybe, because I'll probably announce it there, or in a video, I don't know. Kind of winging it. Alright, so I want to have orbits around the eyes, like I said. This is going to be a very expressive portion of the face. Potterzilla? Hey Omni, any chance for more 2D Smashifieds in the future? Probably not 2D Smashifieds, but we are going to have 2D content in general. In fact, you might have seen some content in that trailer that was 2D, like the Sonic sort of realistic design that I made in response to the teaser trailer that they had, or the teaser poster that they posted a while back. Probably don't want to talk about the Sonic movie again, at least not right now, but and there's also an Ice Climbers design that I'm working on. So, ooh, this song is great. Alright, let's see, how should I handle this? You know what, I'm gonna decrease the offset on this just a bit. There we go. The music stages in Rayman Legends are so good. Alright. Carla Henry mentions that I like thin eyebrow Rayman. What am I saying? That wasn't right. I like thin eyebrow Rayman. I agree. The only reason I didn't do that with the original Rayman Smashified is because the trophy had those really thick eyebrows, and I just matched that, not really thinking too hard about it. But it's tricky because the way that Rayman is drawn in Legends and Origins, it's sort of ambiguous whether or not he has eyebrows at any moment. Like sometimes he has them and sometimes he doesn't. Like these sort of eyelash, this shape here, I look at that and I see eyelashes. But then they also draw a second line above that in certain drawings, so I assume that they're denoting both the eyelashes and the eyebrows. So I'm probably going to have to do that with specific expressions, but not every single one. Alright. You know, I'm going to bring this entire loop closer to the other loop. Did you hear that Dora the Explorer movie will come out and the trailer will be released tomorrow? I did not hear about that, but I'm very excited to kind of see what kind of thing they come up with for that. Dora the Explorer? I mean, it's probably going to be a kids movie, right? I would assume. Although if they tried to skew it to like a mixed audience, like a family audience, I'd be interested in how they make it palatable to adults in some way. You know how sometimes they make an effort to make the parents who have to take the kids to the movies, you know, they try to let them enjoy it at some level, so they create jokes that are above kids' heads. And that's always appreciated. But I don't imagine that being all that interesting to me. But I definitely want to see people's response to it. I don't even know who Boots is, so I don't think I ever watched Dora the Explorer growing up. I think I was probably too old by the time it was created. It wasn't in the demographic, the intended demographic. Although I'm sure I've watched plenty of shows where I'm not in the intended demographic. So maybe that shouldn't have stopped me. I mean, it definitely seems very specifically geared to very young kids, and I imagine there's not much substance for the parents in shows like that. Live action, okay, yeah. That'll be something. That's all I have to say on the matter. Real quick, I'm just gonna save. So besides Rayman and the realistic Pokemon starters, have you gotten any other projects in mind, or are you keeping them secrets for now? Yeah, we definitely have other projects in the works, Ultra Row. In fact, we have some that you saw in the reveal trailer on the channel, and the channel trailer. So we're actually going to have a game bite related to one of the things you saw in there that's going to be releasing this weekend if all things go according to plan. So hope you are looking forward to that. To poll or not to poll? That is the question. And when I say that, I'm talking about a topology thing. So let me show you a little bit of a trade secret. Not really a secret, but just something that you have to be aware of when you're 3D modeling. Generally, when you have quads, they're in a grid formation, right? Like, you've got squares all, you know, in groups of 4. Like, you can create a quadrant out of any of these quads, which are rectangles. And then you have these, which is this weird arrangement where you have 5 quads that are all attached at the edges. So they're sort of deformed looking. They're not really as rectangular as before. They're kind of, you know, skewed. And this particular vertex serves as a pole. And when you hear the word pole, you might think of the north and south poles on the globe. And essentially that's what's happening. Like the edges, the longitude lines that go up the Earth and down the Earth, they meet in the center of the top and bottom. And so you could have a pole that's 6 quads or 7 quads. Poles are just like the intersection between non-4 arranged quads. And what they let you do is redirect the flow of the topology. So this edge loop right here, or just this, you know, chain of edges would normally in a grid arrangement will always go straight perpendicular to the others. But in this case, this row of quads is being redirected to go up here, and this one is being redirected this way, this one's going that way. So you're able to redirect the flow of the quads, and that's really the crux of what topology is all about, is the flow of the quads, the flow of the polygons. So I'm just trying to make sure that my flow is good, because that will make it easier to edit and easier to rig and paint the weights and stuff like that. Weights being how much a bone will affect a vertex when it is transformed. Klonoa, ever want to see Rayman in a death battle? Has Rayman not been in a death battle before? That's surprising. I guess last time we streamed Rayman, I was talking about how Rayman's not as popular in today's modern gaming community as he was back in the day, and maybe he never was really all that popular, judging from sales. But I would say he is worthy of the respect that he has by the people who admire him. YouTube has auto captions for live streams? Wow. So on the fly, as it encodes, it is creating subtitles for me. How accurate are they? That's interesting. So what I think I'm going to do with the hair is I'm not going to actually make the hair contiguous with the head mesh. What I'm going to do is have the hair as a separate mesh. That way I don't have to worry about all of the quad flow lining up here, because there's a lot more going on with the hair as far as like these zigzags, and so I'm probably going to need more quads along these strands, like this flow going from the tips to the back of the head. So I'm going to keep it separate, and that's probably going to be a lot easier to manage. Speaking of Klonoa, I said this in Discord, but yeah, Klonoa 2 on PS2 is 18 years old. Man. Also, hi Donnie Arts. Do I play Skullgirls? Asks Devontae Edwards. I do not. I've never played Skullgirls. I'm not really much of a fighting game player, beyond like Super Smash Brothers, and can you really call that a fighting game in the traditional sense? So no, I have not played Skullgirls, but I understand that it is a very well-made fighting game. Alright, I'm making another pull right here. You see that? Right there. Redirecting the flow. Retopology is all about flow. Retopologizing is all about flow. Both in your demeanor and in the logic of trying to create good topology. I'm gonna save real quick. You hear about Klonoa's director wanting to release a history book? I did not hear about that. I know people are very disappointed with the state of Klonoa these days because of the fact that the movie got canceled and there's no games being made, I don't imagine. Which is a bummer. It's a huge bummer. I wish Klonoa would get more love. Pull that out. Rayman series has 26 million sales. That's more than Bomberman, Castlevania, Kingdom Hearts, Star Fox, etc. Has it really? Bomberman, that surprises me a little bit because there's a lot of Bomberman games, but also Bomberman's not hugely popular anymore, and there's a lot of bad or mediocre games in that series, in my estimation at least, so that's not hugely surprising. Oops. Nope. What are you doing? Oh, I like this song. I like all of the songs that involve whistling and ukulele. Probably delayed. I should stop whistling. You know what I should do actually? Next time I'm gonna make sure that my microphone is synced with the music because I like to whistle a lot and I just do it habitually. So I would like to make sure that it's synchronized. I don't like what's happening right now. I think I'm gonna need less or more actually. More edges going into the back of the head. You drew Bomberman the other day, Meth? Bomberman is a fun character to draw. I think you'll be excited about the Game Bite coming out soon. Hint, hint. I don't like the edge flow there either. I'm going to get rid of that one. You know what, I think I'm going to have to pull some of these in or out. Let's see what I can do around here. Yeah. Cloverpaw asks, I wonder what a Bomberman Act Zero sequel would look like. Probably a lot like Act Zero. That is an interesting pivot that they did with that game. Like, I know a lot of people hate it because it's aesthetically so far from what they expect from Bomberman. But it's interesting that they tried to sort of age up the franchise in a way to kind of fit better within the landscape of the industry back in like the early 2000s, which was dominated by games like Halo and, you know, other very gritty games, the Age of Grey. So yeah, it's interesting to see how they tried to evolve the franchise that way. Sorry, I'm thinking through what I need to do to be able to resolve and close up this particular part of the topology. Potterzilla asks, Omni, what are your thoughts on Cuphead creator wanting him in Smash? I mean, what creator doesn't want their creation in Smash? So it makes sense, and it probably indicates that it's not planned, because they probably wouldn't be able to say anything about it if it was planned. But who knows? I mean, maybe it is happening, and we just don't know. Am I selecting Avert right now? I'm gonna hide these back strands real quick so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. That's what I want. There we go. Now we're starting to close this up. I missed something that was somebody said, so I'm gonna make the chat a little bit taller so I can keep messages on screen longer. Meph says, I think Rayman is deserving to be in Smash Brothers. I agree. Conman LOL asks, what song is this? If you're talking about the one I'm hearing right now, it is the Leptis Bringer of Night Movement 1 from Hoodlum Havoc. Does that is that significant to you? Because I've never played Hoodlum Havoc, so as much as I love the soundtrack, I can't exactly relate to the titles of the songs. They hold no significance to me. I just like the way they sound. Alright, question. Do I just do this? Yeah, that works. I'll just bridge these edge loops and then close this by just killing that loop, and then make sure I have auto merge on, because that's the only way I can get rid of that by doing a slide. There we go. Quad. Look at that, we closed his head. We now have a moderately low resolution mesh for Le Rayman head. Real quick, I'm going to set the subdivision surface to optimal display so that I can turn it up and then only show the actual quads. So this seems like it'll work. Alright, what am I missing here? What am I missing? Song is scary. Buttered Toasted says song is scary. It is a little bit spoopy. Alright, so here's the fun part about using the shrink wrap modifier to do this stuff. what it lets me do is weight paint the offset value. And what I mean by that is, what I'm going to do is add 2 shrink wrap modifiers. One of them is for the base snapping to the surface. So I'm just going to add this offset as, well, I don't know, 0.05 or something. Actually, maybe less, 0.01. All right. And then what I'm going to do is add a second subdiv surface on it. Where am I looking? Add subdivision surface. No. What am I saying? Second shrink wrap. I'm not thinking. Set its target to the same thing, head sculpt 01. But what I will do is limit it to a specific vertex group. So what I'm going to do on this mesh is to create a vertex group called offset large. I don't know. And then I will find that vertex group. And so what it's doing now is it's only going to be applying this shrink wrap modifier to vertices that belong in this group called offset large. And currently that group is empty. There are no vertices in that group. What I can do then is assign all of these vertices with a weight of 0, and that way this modifier will have 0 effect on it. Then, well, I need to offset it a bit, so where's that shrink wrap? I'm going to offset this by, like, I don't know, 0.3. Much bigger than the first shrink wrap. And then I'm going to weight paint this. And watch, as I weight paint, it is going to slowly offset these vertices from the surface. And that way I can fully control how much offset gets applied based on the weight of the vertices. And the weight is determined by how bright red it is. So the closer it gets from blue to red, the more weight is being applied to that vertex within that group, and then being affected by the shrink wrap modifier. Is this making any sense? Sometimes I wonder if all this jargon is too much for people who don't actually do 3D modeling. So basically all of the parts that are brighter are being affected more by the shrink wrap offset. And that is bringing them farther out because this offset is higher than that offset. And there we go. We're starting to get... And this is how I compensate for the shrinkage that gets applied as a result of a subdivision surface modifier. Weight is a good question. Buttered Toasted asks, what is weight? Weight is essentially just a metric of how much of an effect anything in that group will be affected by. That was a terrible sentence. So essentially, whenever you add a vertex to a vertex group, you give it a weight. If you give it a weight of 1, then anything that affects that vertex group will be affected to the fullest extent. If it has a weight of 0, then it will not be affected at all. So what I'm doing is weight painting, which lets me affect the weights of each vertex with a brush. So any vertex that is brightly colored like this represents a higher vertex weight. So for instance, if I go in and edit this vertex right here, if I go to view, there we go. You can see that this vertex right here that I have selected has a weight of 0.56 inside of the group offset large. So it's being affected to half of the extent that it would if it was 1. And that would mean its offset would be fully 3, but instead its offset is like 0.3 times 0.56. All very technical. Alright, so I need to do some more topology with the eyes, I think, around the eyes. Yeah, so weight is essentially, like you said, the severity of the effect, or the extent that it gets. Any effect that affects the vertex group in question will be applied. We're learning things, right? That's what I want this channel to be, is educational. And also fun. For me. Hopefully for you also, but mostly for me. So, Super Show says, I'm going to open Blender and make an abomination. Wish me luck. Good luck with your abomination. Alright. So I'm going to... Let's see. How do I want to handle these eyes? Right now they're one mesh. I think I'm going to want to create two meshes instead. But before I do, I'm going to have to create some reinforcements to this mouth. And what I mean by that is more edge loops around this mouth. So I could cut like that and add another one that way. That's easy. But for now, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to dissolve that edge. Nope, not the vertices, dissolve edges. Just so I can do that later with more control. Meph says, not gonna lie, I can only understand like 1/45 of what you say, but I still enjoy all 45/45 of it. It's your voice, man. Oh, I appreciate that. I want to make more like educational content, like purely educational, just giving people instruction on the channel. And hopefully I'm going to have an opportunity to do that in the future. Probably not until I'm able to move to my house and devote more time to it. Actually, I should probably figure out... If I add a loop cut here, it's not going to affect anything because all of these just terminate to the top. So I have some room to play here. What I want to make sure I have, maybe it doesn't actually matter, but right now I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 vertices on the top of the mouth, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the bottom. Probably not an issue. Probably don't need to care about that. Probably doesn't matter, but I could add like another loop cut here and another loop cut here to even it out. I'm not going to worry about it for now. If I need more control, I'll do that. But it seems like I won't need that. Do you make animations? Asked Milkman. I do. Not a lot, but I am actually working on a shot for the Rhythm Heaven Reanimated. That's going to be out sometime this year, I imagine. If any of you are familiar with Kevin Fagaragan, I don't actually know how to say his name properly. Kim Up Man on Twitter. You probably are aware of this Rhythm Heaven Reanimated, but basically I'm doing a scene for that with the Cosmic Dance minigame. So I'm animating that in 3D. It's going to be... Well, actually, I've been showing it off in the Discord server. Some of you have seen it. So look forward to that. That's going to be awesome. I haven't seen that many other scenes from other people. I've seen Kevin's and also Mike, Sir Fluffy Fox. He did a scene and is working on a second scene, I think. Why am I fine-tuning this? Okay. What I'm going to do is extrude and scale down. And then drag it in a little bit. So I need to do the inside of the mouth, which is what I'm trying to do. This is going to be tricky with the shrink wrap modifier because it's not going to know whether or not it should stick to the top or bottom. In fact, I might make a vertex group so that it's not included. Yeah, I am going to make a second vertex group. Save real quick. Let's see. Group, let's call this offset base. This is the base offset. And then this is only going to apply to that. And then I'm going to add all of these. I'm going to assign it with a weight of 1 to offset the base. Did that do what I wanted it to do? Yes, okay. Then I'm going to take this and then remove it from there, as well as this one, so that I don't have to worry about the snapping. So these vertices now are not being snapped to the surface. It's easier to deal with it that way. Actually, yeah. Why not? So what I'm going to do real quick is set the mirror to disabled. And then I am going to hide the sculpt. There's this top row of teeth. Scary. Let's hide those teeth for a sec. So now we have a half Rayman. Sorry, buddy. So now I can do the interior of the mouth without having to be obstructed by all of the rest of it. Alright, what are people saying? Someone mentioned a Smash retopo. DJ Fed's like trying to retopo a head with a closed mouth doesn't look too easy. Yeah, I know. I might worry about the interior more later, but is that a stray vertex? No, it's not. It's just inside a little bit. I don't do mouths that often on characters, like interior mouths. I haven't had a lot of experience with it, so it's not something I often worry about too much. But I can imagine it's easier to rig it when it's slightly open. Where is that? All right. But someone mentioned a Smash Rhythm Heaven dealio. I saw that. It was the one where Sakurai was like slapping people away, right? Very well made. Although, if I'm being perfectly honest, it was a little bit jarring to me how smooth some of the animation was. And that's not like an insult. That's, I mean, it's a testament to the animators that they're able to make very fluid animation. So props to that. But it's also sort of incongruous with how animation is typically done in Rhythm Heaven, because it's usually kind of stilted and stiff and rigid in a way that kind of makes it charming. So I feel like it lost that a bit. But otherwise, I thought it was very, very well done. That is not to the detriment of the people who made that, because they're very talented. It especially struck me when Game & Watch was given fluid animation, and it was like, if I was to change one thing, it'd be that, is don't give Game & Watch fluid animation. He does not. It is not appropriate for that character. Game & Watch was very deliberately made to have very rigid animation, and I think it should stay that way. Chat is not moving. Would I just scroll down or something? Alright. So there's not really going to be much going on inside of his mouth, I imagine. Although weight painting it will probably be a pain if it's still closed. So what I might do is once I get the interior surface done, I will open his mouth up a bit and have it diverge from the base sculpt. So let's go ahead and take the sides of the mouth. So I'm going to deselect this and then just extrude that all the way in with clipping. Just to have it. I can subdivide that or add loop cuts as I go. And then bring this up. That'll be the bottom. How many do I have here? You know what? I'm going to have to add this because I need to close it up. I just realized that. So I'm going to go ahead and add these loop cuts so I can resolve it on the inside. I probably could resolve it the inside without doing that, but I don't feel like finagling that. This is not an optimal way to do this. Where is the vertex for this one? Is it there? Oh wait, no, it doesn't exist, of course. I have to make it. There it is. Boom. Now I've got a loop. Alright. Super Show says I just made some gross hair and I'm proud of it. Well, are you using particles for that? Or is it just like a sculpt or polygons? I haven't actually done anything with particle system in Blender. It's part of the reason why I started with Sobble when I did that realistic kind of dealio with that, because I wanted to get a little bit more acquainted with the hair system before I try to tackle that. DJ Thed's done a little bit of stuff with that, I know. He did a Pichu, which was very well done. And I saw that you made an animation on YouTube, was it? For that Pichu model without the hair? That was cool. Basically in the style of of Detective Pikachu. Poco, how's it going? If someone were to jump into the Rayman series now, what game would you recommend picking up first? I'm probably not well qualified to answer that question because I'm not super well acquainted with the franchise. I've only played 2 and Legends. I would say Origins or Legends is a pretty good starting point if you like platformers, like side-scrolling platformers, but if you like 2D platformers, Rayman 2 is very good. I like Rayman 2 a lot. You know, there should be more of a cavity in this mouth, so I will go ahead and open these up. Rayman's mouth is so strange, isn't it? It's just like a flap, like hinged in the back of his head. Alright, I'm going to bring this down. And then I will try to see the remaining vertices over here. Where are you? Bring that out. Streaming 3D modeling makes me a little bit self-conscious because I know I have plenty of bad habits, probably. I never had any formal training, so I don't know what I could be doing better necessarily unless somebody tells me. So you're getting the pure, raw, self-taught approach to 3D modeling. And who knows if I'm any good. I certainly don't know. It's your boy Roy says Legends is the ideal way to start. Buttered Toasted said Rayman 3. They're all so different. I mean, Origins and Legends notwithstanding, those are pretty similar. But like 1 to 2 was a huge leap. 2 to 3, from what I've heard, is a pretty big change. But I can't speak to that. I just know that 3 to Origins was a humongous change. Some people would say it was a downgrade. I don't know if I'd agree with that, but it was definitely different. I don't have the topology properly there. Instead, what am I trying to do here? How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to extrude down that. Like that. One more time. Bring this vertex up. Where's your friend? There you are. Now I can close it. Nope, not yet. Oh, what am I doing? I could just add... I'm so stupid. I could just add more cuts. This is all closed. There, now I've got 5 and 5. Is that right? Sorry, I'm not seeing the chat right now. Trying to concentrate on solving this little topology puzzle. There we go. Now I can close it. Ta-da! Retopology. Wah. Somebody's mentioning me. Poco, I'll purchase Legends eventually, but I'll put it on my wish list. I'm currently on the hype train for Cuphead. I haven't played Cuphead either, so I'm excited to play that. Game of the year 2017 for you. Having it on the go will be awesome. Not just even on a console, but just on a handheld. Alright. Salazar says, Salazar84, not any of the other previous Salazars. Salazar84 says, you're doing better stuff than what I did in college. So were you studying something like 3D animation in college, or what were you doing in college? I studied graphic design, so it wasn't my field. I learned it all after college. Carla Henry says, Omni, is it alright if I use that Sonic you made for something? Are you talking about the realistic Sonic design that I did? Because if so, I mean, yeah, you can feel free to do whatever you want with it. I don't hold ownership over the specific idea of a realistic Sonic, so I don't know that I really can lay claim to that. I mean, it's not my character, so I can't really stop anyone from doing anything. So yeah, feel free. Little trick when you're retopologizing and you need to create a pole in sort of a triangle shape. A very common arrangement for redirecting flow is this sort of triangle here. It's like a triangle with 3 vertices along each side, and then you just put a vertex in the middle right there, and then you can close it up with quads. So if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices that form a triangle, then you can close it with 3 quads like that. In fact, in general, if you have any closed shape like this, and there's an even number of vertices, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In fact, it says 8 here at the bottom. Then it is always going to be possible to close it with quads. Just a helpful little tip for those of you who might be learning still. And make sure you keep your closed shapes with an even number of vertices, otherwise you will not be able to close it with quads. Whoops. I accidentally went into the camera. By the way, this is the camera I used to create the thumbnails. Look at that. Alright, so I've gotten the interior of the mouth now, or some form of that. I probably need to reinforce this a little bit with another edge loop. I know I could be using like mean creases for some stuff. In fact, I might do that with the outside of the lip here. I don't like using mean creases all that much, to be perfectly honest. I find it difficult to control sometimes. So I'm just gonna leave that alone for now. But yeah, here's my Rayman head. Basic head. How long I've been streaming? It's only been about an hour. Not too bad. Potterzilla says, Omni studied graphic design too. I'm following in the footsteps of my hero without knowing. Oh, am I your hero? Well, that's very flattering. Yeah, I studied graphic design when I went to college because I didn't think a career in game design was possible. I didn't know anything about the industry back then. I didn't really look into it. I knew I liked making game-related stuff. I made sprites when I was growing up for fan games and things like that. But I didn't think that I would be able to make a career out of anything game-related. But then lo and behold, when I went to college, I got recruited by some students who were trying to make a game in college for college credit. And although we did not end up getting college credit for that game, we did finish a game that we actually shipped on the App Store on Apple iOS. So I did sort of end up trying to pursue a career in game development, and that's what I'm doing right now, is making a game for mobile. I'm not sure why I added that loop. Maybe it's not a good idea. But I'll have to white paint it. Alright. Sorry, I'm going to catch up on the chat. Are you using F to fill the vertices? Am I? I don't know. Am I? I think I am. Yes? I'm doing it so intuitively, instinctually, that I'm not even thinking about it. Yes, I am hitting F to fill the vertices. You start to get to a point where you just feel what you're doing with your fingers. What was I gonna do? Omni, do you plan on making a toy Sonic? Probably not. There's people who already made some really great toy Sonics out there. Toei. Every time I see that word, I just say toy. Toy Sonic. Yeah. How did the game do? Asked Buttered Toasted. It didn't do that great. There were some sort of critical bugs that made the experience a little bit less than ideal, but also we just didn't have any means to market it. Like, it was a solid game as far as people's experiences go. Like, there were people who were giving it decent reviews, probably not even up anymore, but this song. But I think we broke even on the cost of publishing it, I think, but I don't think it went beyond that. This song is so distracting. Potterzilla, have you seen my hair lately? Because it's different now. I haven't cut my hair since that video where I said Smashified is dead. You remember that video? I haven't cut my hair since then. So it's been a while. Alright. So now I can create, well, I can open this mouth now if I wanted to. So if I just made a shape key, for instance, probably not a good idea to do it with a mirror modifier on here, but just as an example, if I made a shape key and then on that shape key I dragged all of these vertices, switch to lasso, and then I just take all of these vertices. That's probably good enough. Yeah, and then I just open it like, did I miss some? Did I miss some? Oh, right, it's still snapping. I'm not gonna be able to do this without applying that modifier. Never mind. Demonstration over, not happening. Max Matthews said, I haven't cut my hair since I was 8. Well, how old are you now? Are you 9? Salazar says, fortunately, thanks to that class, rigging and weight painting in Blender was a bit easier than what I expected. That's good. It can be daunting, but it's not too difficult once you get the hang of it. Fat Jam on Toast asks, is there didgeridoo in that song? Yes. There's a lot of didgeridoo in Origins. Rayman Origins has a lot of kazoo and didgeridoo. It looks like the director of the Tekken games. Who is the director of the Tekken games? What's the name? Harry's Mads says, yo, Omni, have you ever used Maya? That's the 3D program I used at school. No, I have not. Reason, very expensive. That's why I learned Blender, is because it's free and open source. I mean, there's really no other reason for me to really pick that. Maya's more of a standard in the industry, although Blender's starting to get up there. Like, there was a Netflix original film, like an original animated movie called Next Gen, that was made entirely in ZBrush and Blender, and animated in Blender. So that's pretty cool. I haven't seen it yet. I kind of want to watch it. But yeah. For my purposes, I mean, if I'm going to be making indie games, which is sort of my career goal, I'll probably stick to Blender because it's free. I don't have to pay a subscription of $100 a month to use it. So if it serves my purposes, it's good enough. Yeah, if you want to get a job in the industry with like a bigger studio, definitely you'll probably want to learn you'll want to learn Maya because that's what most people use. But I mean, give it a few years, I can imagine that more studios are going to switch to Blender. I mean, the studio that animated the Smash cutscenes, like the pre-rendered trailer cutscenes and stuff like that, they used Blender to make those models, actually. The ones for Ultimate, at least. There's multiple studios who worked on the ones for Smash 4. But yeah, they use Blender. So if you're going to be independent and working on your own projects, you'll probably get by with just Blender. But if you're going to be working in a bigger company, they'll probably have you using Maya. Let's see what happens if I put this teeth back in. Interesting. I need to think it. I think I need to add a bit more thickness to the interior of the mouth. So what I'm going to do is select all of these vertices. And just scale along the normals. It's another piece of jargon that's kind of weird if you're not used to it. The normals. So each face, each polygon has normals, which is the outward facing direction of the face, perpendicular to its surface. So if I scale along the vector of the normals, then I can add some thickness. Did I misclick? Misclick. That's a YouTuber. I think that's everything. Hide the teeth real quick. Go away, teeth. Yeah, alright. So what I'm going to do is scale along the normals. Look at that. Thicker. Man, them lips, those are thick. Alright. What I'll probably do is also make this cavity a little bit bigger in general. Let's see, what am I missing in the chat? Salazar says, I'd rather go freelance when I do stuff for your portfolio. I mean, honestly, it's probably not too difficult to learn both Blender and Maya. I mean, fundamentally, all 3D modeling is the same. It's really just the interface that's different. So if you're getting practice in Maya, you'll probably be able to translate that experience into Blender with a little bit of learning. So I wouldn't really sweat it too much. What am I trying to do right now? What am I doing? Oh, I missed this vertex. That's what's looking silly. Alright. Let me hide those teeth again. And then select these vertices. Not these. Is that all the ones I want? Yes, I think so. Nope, not you. Up. Does Rayman have bottom teeth? I guess he does because he grins. But he doesn't have bottom teeth in that trophy model. So it's probably another case with like DK's teeth are retractable, I guess. Up. Bring these up. Bring these up. I'm trying to make these teeth fit, but it's probably not necessary. Did I just fill that? Yes, I did. Okay, whoops. Then hide the teeth one more time. I'm missing a vertex. There it is. Dang it, did I do that in the shape key? Dang it! Oh well. I'll just get rid of this basis first and then get rid of all of them, and there we go, now it's the normal. Alright. DJ Fed, as someone who's used Blender for nearly 8 years, I can't ever see myself using Maya. Blender does occasionally. Blender does basically anything Maya can do, and having to relearn new stuff while also paying for it. Yeah, that's my thought as well. I mean, there's not a whole lot of advantage to using Maya anymore. There's certainly an advantage to using something like ZBrush, because the sculpting tools in ZBrush are far superior to the ones available in Blender. And I want to get some practice with ZBrush in the future, in the near future, because that seems like it's worth my while. But I don't think that I would need anything from Maya specifically. Because I mean, maybe there's some modeling functions that would help, but there's so many add-ons for Blender that you can probably turn Blender practically into Maya. I don't know how Maya's Arnold renderer compares to Cycles. I know Cycles is pretty similar to RenderMan, which is what Pixar uses still. I don't know if they still use that, do they? But it was based on, Cycles was based on RenderMan, I believe. So the renders that you get out of it are pretty similar. This is a lot of jargon right now. Bring that head sculpt back in. Okay, yeah. What I'm gonna do is extrude once, and then where's my head sculpt? There you are. Whoops. Still getting used to some of these keyboard shortcuts. Alright, so that should be adequate for the head. So I guess I can start doing the hair now, but I'm also going to do the eyes. If Maya was cheaper, I don't know if I'd switch. I mean, I'm so used to Blender already, so why spend any money at all when I can just get away with using Blender? And then also ZBrush, because ZBrush has a perpetual license. You don't have to do a subscription. Although they are switching to a subscription model for the most recent version. I don't know if you can still get a perpetual license for ZBrush. Maybe you can. Tom Clayson said my logo is clever. Which logo? The Curiomatic logo? Because if so, yes. I think it is very clever. I'm very proud of that logo. My personal Artsy Omni logo is pretty basic. Not much to it. I'm going to remove this thing that I just extruded from these, because I don't need it to be there, and I'm going to hide the eyes, which is going to look kind of grotesque, but bear with me. Where are the eyes? Oh, they're called Cube 01. Silly. Let's rename that to eyes and then hide it. No, it's not as grotesque as I thought it would be. Oh, good. So the question is, do I just shove it over here? Where's my mirror modifier? So basically I just want to be able to shove these into the skull. Maybe add another loop here. And then I need to be able to resolve this. It is 15 verts. That's not good. I need to add another loop somewhere, like here, another edge cut. Loop cut. Now it's... Oh wait, no, it doesn't matter because this is a mirror. So I don't need even here because it's always going to be even. I'm just babbling. What are you guys saying in the chat? The Shy Guy Gamer 777 asks, so what's the point of this? The point of this is to create a low resolution mesh that gets subdivided so that the rig only has to move a few thousand vertices instead of hundreds of thousands of vertices. Because if I tried to rig a model or a mesh with hundreds of thousands of vertices, my computer would complain or crash. Let me hide the head sculpt real quick. And then extrude. Add some loop cuts. And probably want one more, don't I? One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was a mistake. I should go back. Alright, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. What are you doing? Scroll, scroll. There we go. Bang. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bridge. Fill. Whoop, what are you doing? Nope. Bridge those edges. And then that's a quad. Fill. There we go. Now we've got the interior surface of the eyes that they can rest in. I think I might need more orbits to be able to do an eyelid. But we'll worry about that later. Do I need an eyelid? I might just make the eyelid a separate mesh. That's what they do with Mario. But I don't think my expression for this is going to need it. So never mind, it's not a big deal. I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream, maybe another half hour. Poco says, the thing about Rayman is you're making 6 different models. Next Smashified, you're going to be making just one model, hopefully. I don't know that that's really a difficulty. I don't know if that's what you're saying, but Rayman's still pretty easy when it comes down to it. Does Rayman's lack of limbs make him easier to model? Definitely. When you're posing this model, keep in mind Ultimate's character portraits are far more action-packed. Definitely going to keep that in mind. Don't forget to save. I'm always saving. Blender's always auto-saving too. Isn't that horrific what I'm looking at right now? Let me go ahead and set this to shade smooth. There we go. Look at that. Look at that smooth model. Sort of smooth model. There's some janky going on over here. But pretty smooth. Fairly smooth. Alright, let's get back to it. Let's do something with these eyes. I think what I'm just going to do is take this eye mesh and then separate it into 2 eyes. Man, this is goofy looking. What was I thinking? What are you doing, Omni? This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Among the things that I've done. I'm going to turn off clipping. Then I'm going to move these in. Now I've got 2 separate eyes. Look at that. Now if I... What's the subdivision surface? Oh, I have a simplify on, that's why. Max subdivision 3. Now I've got two separate eyes. Looks really silly, but I can always tweak this later. This is a very simple mesh. Alright, let's bring back the main head. Oh, I'm in restrict. Okay. This is a good song. Waluigi Fanatics just popping in. What did you miss? Basically, you missed the entire process of me retopologizing the head. Or at least the main part of the head. Whoa, this is lumpy back here. But I need to weight paint it anyway, so I'll do that right now. Oh, I'm on the wrong mesh. Weight paint. Not that group, this group. That's why it's so lumpy. Where's my sculpt? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna blur this so that it looks smoother. This is very weak. There we go. So if you've just joined, what I'm doing with the weight paint is using it to control the offset from the sculpt mesh. That lets me have a variable offset per vertex. And this blur is just making it a smoother transition. So the part with lower density of vertices is going to need more of an offset, which is why some of these larger, broader strokes are a little bit more weighted, so that the offset is greater on that. All right. That looks much better. Ooh. What are people saying? I'm saying Rayman's all dirty again. Poco says, it looks like you're painting a weather forecast on Rayman's face. Yeah, when you're rigging and you need to weight paint for the rig, you're gonna see that set of colors a lot. That blue to red gradient, blue to green to red. Basically like a heat map, you can think of it like that. What's the lighter weight on the head rig too? So none of these weights are for rigs, specifically. It's just controlling the offset from the sculpt, which is what this thing is shrink wrapped to. It's funny, if I try to move this mesh, it really doesn't know what to do because it wants to shrink wrap to a surface. Let's see. I guess I can start on the hair, shouldn't I? So with the hair, last time I was doing this, I should make sure this is clipping properly. Where are my modifiers? There. So last time I was working on Rayman, I was trying to figure out how to handle the strands on the back of the head. And what I landed on was sort of... Well, I guess I didn't really land on anything yet. But I was trying to make sure that I could see two strands from the sides here. So I'm kind of borrowing some of the ideas used in the Hoodlum Havoc model, which is this fella. And the Hoodlum Havoc model is quite a bit different from modern Rayman, but I wanted to try to use some of the motifs because I feel like the Rayman 3 Hoodlum Havoc model is a little bit more well suited to 3D, whereas the trophy is not. The trophy used in Wii U, Smash Wii U. So, Yellow Vern Mations says, wait, does the logo say C as in curious? It does. It is a the logo for Curiomatic is a mixture of many things. It's sort of meant to be interpreted however you want to interpret it, but it is a question mark. There's a C. There's an upside down question mark. If you think about the dot above the C, there's a lot to it. In fact, I could probably come off as sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Pretentious if I talk about it too much, but there's a lot of different layers to the Curiomatic logo. So once I'm able to merge these strands in so that they're not clipping weirdly, which is what the Retopology is going to be doing, it should look a little bit more uniform. These 4 strands are going to stand out a bit more than these 2. So the logo is not a Z, correct. It is abstract. Potterzilla, thanks for stopping by. Glad you made it for a little bit over an hour or 2. Was it at 2 hours? A little over an hour. Reminds you of the Python logo. I've had multiple people say that. It does bear some resemblance, like the shape vocabulary, to the Python logo. Python being the programming language. Poco says, I just can't wait until Omni's house is finished so we can get more streams. You and me both! I can't wait. Now we're just trying to get a permit so that I can do some bathroom stuff. Because you have to make sure the city is okay with what you do in your own home. To the dismay of Ron Swanson. Omni should just model his house in Blender already. Funny you should say that. All of the plans that I've made for renovations have been done in Blender, so I actually already have a working model of my house. And certain portions of it have studs modeled in to the walls, and individual sheets of drywall, and yeah, it's kind of insane. It's a little bit crazy. I could probably show you that at the end of the stream, if you're interested. So let's see. Let's do the hair, or at least start on it. No, I just realized this isn't clipping properly either. Nope, not you. Get in line. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. There. I wonder if I should close off the top of his head. Might be smart. You know, I'm gonna do that. Just for good measure. So we can have a bald Rayman. How many vertices? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5. That's gonna be awkward. I'm gonna do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? I'm gonna, instead of doing this, I'm going to cut something like that. I'm gonna slide this over here. That way I have fewer vertices to worry about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bridge edge loops. Let's do that. Why aren't you increasing? There you go. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is doable. Shrink you down. Close that. Close that. Close that. There we go. I've closed his head. Now we've got a bald Rayman. Check it out. Let's look at it. Let's look at Rayman without his hair. Oh, gross. Oh, his skull. What's wrong with him? I need to fix something. Oh, of course. Some of these are snapping and some are not. Alright, you know what? You guys are off the hook. You do not have to snap. In fact, all of you do not snap. There we go. That's some improvement, at least. Isn't he beautiful? Sorry, I should stop whistling. Okay, so that's enough of that. I don't know why I'm trying to refine this. It's inconsequential entirely, but I can't help myself. I have no self-control. Trying to improve something that will not be seen. Oh, go away, Hoodlum Havoc. I don't need you right now. Now that he's bald, give him a mustache. Let's see. Hair, come back. Oh, that's not the right one. Ooh, this song's good. I like this one. I need to turn myself up, or turn the music up for me. I've got them on separate volume dials. There we go. Now I can hear it. Come back, chat. There you are. I always thought they were saying pump it up there. Pump it up. Pump it up. Remove. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I like to whistle a lot. I've told this story a few times now, but I didn't learn to whistle until I was in high school, so I feel like for the rest of my life I have to make up for lost time by whistling a lot. And it's probably annoying to a lot of people, but you know what? I do not care. How do I wanna... I don't care right now. I'm not gonna clean this up. Work on the hair, Omni. Work on the hair. Alright. So how do I want to handle the hair? Why don't I just to start myself off, I'm just going to take this quad, duplicate it, separate it, and then that'll be the start of my hair. Nope, don't enter it, stop it. There you go. But instead, no, that's fine. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. Assign to offset base and large. And then what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to offset it a little bit more for base. That seems to do nothing. Let me turn off clipping. Oh, I applied, oh, silly me. I applied the weight on this incorrectly. You guys chill with the weight assign. There we go. Alright, now we can get started. Poco says, you reminded me of the Pump It Up inflatable indoor playground. When I hear Pump It Up, I think of the Dance Dance Revolution clone, where the arrows were diagonal instead of plus sign. Anybody know Pump It Up, the dance game? Alright, let's go ahead and do some broad strokes on that. Look at that. Perfect aim. And then I'm going to bring it down and then bring it in and then turn clipping on the mirror modifier. So now I can control the hairline on the back of his head. Rayman won! Let's see. Meph says, it's okay, Omni, I only learned to snap my fingers last year, so I know your pain. I'm not very good at snapping my fingers, and I don't have any desire to get better at it. So my snapping is very inconsistent. I can do it, but it's often not very loud. So what I want to do is be able to control the top of the hairline in the front. So what I'm going to do is make this an orbit. Like that, maybe. I should probably not have this so high up, should I? It's detracting from the shape. That's going to make his skull really dumb looking, but I don't care. People aren't going to see it. Has anyone heard about the recent Rayman trademark that Ubisoft filed? I didn't hear about that. Oftentimes this is just done to renew the trademark for the sake of making sure that they can still enforce it, so I wouldn't necessarily assume that they're making a new game. Sometimes they lead to nothing, those trademark refreshes or renewals. But maybe we'll get a Rayman game. I wouldn't imagine that they're going to make a 3D platformer anytime soon for the Rayman franchise, because that takes a lot more resources, I would imagine, it from a development standpoint. Loop cut there. Bring that up. Nope, fill. And then you can come up this way. Yeah, now we're talking. Hairline. Not entirely sure what the shape of that hairline's supposed to be. Let me pull up the Wii U trophy real quick. Let's see, where are you? You're over here. Come on, Blender. You can do it. There you go. I need to turn on look dev so I can see the materials. Let's see. Dynamite Penguin's in here. I didn't see you there. How's it going? Poco's asking, do you ever wonder how different our iconic mascots like Mario and Sonic would look if we humans had one less or more eye or third arm? I mean, if humans were fundamentally different, then all anthropomorphic characters would be fundamentally different as well. So yeah, Sonic's eye would probably have like a scalloped like 3 eye or 1 eye. He's kind of already got 1 eye if you think about it, but this song. I'm gonna add a material to the hair real quick, just so I can see. Do I need to flip the normals on this? Flip normals. I should probably start using these, shouldn't I? Is there a flip normal shortcut on here? What is that scale? Shear. I never used this toolbar. I should start. It's new to 2.8. Oh, I picked the wrong thing. That's why it's wrong. Well, there you go. You know what? I'm gonna pick a different color just so I can see it differently. Yeah, there we go. So the back of the hair is about flush with the bottom of the eyes. So I can bring that down. Nope, not that far. And not that way. And then it's got a bit more space. Yeah, I call that good enough, I think. Up a little bit. Alright. Quick fact, Rayman was originally going to be an SNES game. Whoa, I'm way behind. I gotta stop scrolling. Znovsky says, hey, Omni, or hello, Omni. I don't know why I changed the word. Liznovsky, I believe... How long have you been on the Discord server? Since the start? Like the first wave? I don't remember. I'll probably do another invite wave at the end of the stream, so stick around if you want that. But it's not like anybody can't join at the moment, it's just that it's not been officially announced. What am I doing? Focus, Omni. Focus. No, don't rip the face. Don't rip the face. Come back. Just drag. There we go. So I need these vertices to be pretty dense so that I can keep this crease pretty small. There we go. Nice and tight. That's good. Extrude that, close that face, bring this over here. Bring that, nope, you're clipping. I don't want you to clip, come back. Undo. There. Nope, I did a bad. Stop doing a bad. You missed Banjo doing the... You missed Omni doing the banjo gaha. I don't remember doing that. When did that happen? I must have done it on accident. I think I need another right there. And bring these down. I just need sharper here. Oh, it's starting to be something, right? Mev says, I will now forever refer to bald Rayman as Raymond. We have an inside joke on the Discord server that I did not start, but Poco and some other folks are in on the joke. Was it you, Poco, who designed that Geno drawing? We have an emote on the server that has been sort of co-opted by me, but one of the guys on the Discord server made a sort of like Smashified style 3D model of it. He's here in the chat. Where is he? Has he left? Probably left a while back. Who was it? It was JDMH, right? Yeah, it was JDMH. Made the Geno model. We named him Gene No. He's just this goofy looking Geno. And cracks me up, but I sort of dared JDMH to make a 3D model of it, and he obliged. So now we have that as an emote. But yeah, we can maybe make Raymond an emote on the Discord server. I feel like all emotes on a Discord server need to be some form of inside joke. So the joke was, yeah, so Poco's explaining it, but essentially a couple of the people noticed that there was a very slight resemblance between Ridley and the characters from name of the show. Blanking on the name of the show. Phineas and Ferb. There it is. With the triangle head. And who was... It was... K. Rool was... I always forget which one's Phineas and which one's Ferb. I never watched that show. But then someone came up with the brilliant idea of making a Geno modeled after Perry the Platypus. So now that's a thing. Have I ever played / heard Mario RPG? Are you talking about the music? I've definitely heard of the game. I've never played it, but I know it exists. I know its significance. Yo, Schiller in here? Yo, Schiller, how's it going? Yo, Schiller says, you know, after watching this for a bit, I was thinking, if I ever run a game company and we're working on a 3D game, I want to encourage all of the employees to feel free to stream their work. Certainly, yeah. I want to do more streams when it comes to game dev stuff. A friend of mine and I are building a game in Unity right now. It's called Gutsy the Guinea Pig. It's a very small game about speedrunning and physics puzzles. So you'll probably hear more about that. The people on the Discord server have already seen me post a couple of in-progress shots of some dialogue portraits that I was drawing. Maybe I'll be able to show it off on the channel. Will, one of our musicians, is actually also an indie game dev, and he recently shipped a game called Nano Driller. It's on Steam. You can buy it for a pretty low price. It's a very small game as well. There's a thing about when you're an indie developer and you're like by yourself or only have a team of like 2 people, you really have to keep the scope down, otherwise you'll never finish your game. Like, or you'll end up among the likes of Owlboy having taken 8 or 9 years to finish, which is not something I would want for a game that I'm working on, but it is the reality of the medium, is that more complex games take a long time unless you have more people working on it. And when it comes to our game, we've got 2 people, so we can't make anything huge. But hopefully, once we're able to finally launch a trailer, you guys check it out. No pressure, of course, but I'm sure you'll be hearing about it in the future more. I mean, we've streamed a little bit of work process for that game. Very casual. I think like 2 people were there because that particular venture does not have nearly the audience that this channel does. But that's okay. We'll grow it. organically. I kind of stole this audience from the Smash community because Rayman leak got me some subs very, very quickly. In fact, like basically a third of the subs were gained in one day, which is pretty crazy. It's very crazy. But sometimes I feel like a large fraction of the subscriber base is no longer active on this channel, and which is why every time we post a video, we lose subs because people are reminded that it exists and that they're not interested. But that's just the reality of, you know, going on a hiatus. I'm just babbling right now. I haven't read the chat. What are people saying? But hey, Yoshilla, thanks for stopping by. Yoshilla said, I learned some basic stuff in Maya and Unity, but didn't further his education. So seeing me work is cool. I appreciate that. Poco says, you gotta get the original modeler's perms to upload the stream vid of Gene Knows creation as a private video. I'm assuming you mean permission. I believe JDMH already said that I'd be allowed to use the footage if he ever decides to send me the archive or something like that. Yeah, those juicy Rayman leak subs. That's how you kill yourself on YouTube, is get a subscriber base that does not watch your videos. Which is a large reason why I'm not really trying to pursue, you know, YouTube as a career of any kind. I'm not really interested in trying to work with the algorithm. It just seems very stressful, and I don't need that in my life. Not right now, at least. Let's see, what do I want to do with this? I feel like I need to reinforce this with another edge loop somehow, but I need to also divert it eventually. If I make 3, oh, that's not where I want you. Then I can resolve it by doing this. Nope. Where? Oh, don't freeze. Thank you. Dissolve edges. Is that what I wanted? Yes, there we go. Meph said, join for the Rayman League. Stayed because you're an amazing guy and artist. Aw, that's very kind of you. I try. There's still people who hold a grudge against me for the Rayman League, and you know what? That's fine. I don't blame them. People are passionate about their characters, so you shouldn't, you know, try to trick people about it. I mean, that's why I have no intention of ever doing another fake league again, because inadvertently, despite any good intentions you might have, you'll end up making people angry. And there aren't really all that many, you know, well-intentioned reasons to make a fake leak in the first place. As opposed to demonstrate what something could be, but in that case, you might as well just not make it a fake leak and just make it a proof of concept, which is essentially what I want this channel to be going forward. Is just a collection of, you know, ideas made into reality in some respect. Dynamite Penguin says, I'm very stubborn about compromising scope. I don't make games, but I make animations, and although they can take hundreds of hours, I don't want to compromise quality or vision for an algorithm. Yeah, I definitely can relate to that. That's sort of how I feel about Smashified, is that it takes a lot of time, and you don't get really much of a return for that time. I've seen some of your animations. You're the one who does stop motion, right? You do some different styles of stop motion. I said the one. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people who do stop motion in some form, but I've seen some of yours. Haven't decided on a pose yet, Meph. That's going to come later, probably after I've rigged everything. Liznovsky's asking, are we ever going to know who the 3 hinted Smashified characters that never got made are? Yes. They're still in the pipeline. 2 of them are almost done. Who's just been prioritizing non-Smashified stuff for the time being. But yeah, they'll definitely come out. Might be able to shift some resources to that after the first Game Byte episode comes out, but not in a huge rush at the moment. Let's see, if I extrude and scale this down, would that be a good approach to getting down to the density I need for this? It would appear so. So then I can just extrude from here and then do that. Yeah. Jukebox just joined. What's up? So we retopologized the head, and we're now retopologizing the hair as a separate mesh. So here is the retopologized head. I'm gonna go ahead and hide the sculpt real quick. So this is essentially the retopologized head. I can show you the wireframe too. So now we've got a clean head with orbits around the mouth after having sculpted the head shape that we wanted. And now I'm just retopologizing it. And I'm apparently losing my voice. I should probably get some water. But yeah, the only reason the hair is not blonde or yellow right now is because I wanted to be able to see it as I am retopologizing. So the color contrast is helping me with that. Oh, I just realized I'm getting notifications about me having not announced this stream on the Discord server. Sorry again. I'm sure most people made it out here and people talked about it, but yeah, we actually do have a Discord server running right now. It's just you have to get invited right now. So I'm sure some of the people who are in here that are already in the Discord are probably willing to send some invites, but it will be officially announced in the Game Byte that is coming this weekend. So if you're not in the Discord right now, you will be able to join in this weekend. It will be publicly posted. Waluigi Fanatic asks, how would you feel if a rabbit got into Smash instead of Rayman? That would be the only instance where I would be upset about a character getting in. Like, I'm very open to people's favorite characters getting in. I don't think too much about it as a competition amongst different characters that are potential fighters. But if a rabbit got in before Rayman, I would actually be legitimately upset. Because that's just not right. You can't do that. How are you gonna do him like that? Let's see, that seems pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Jake Verde. I also like that we started ReSmashified with what started the original Smashified. Yep, that was the goal. Essentially relaunch the series with the one who started it all. Seems thematically appropriate. Nope, not you. Come back here. There you go. Alright, I'm I'm going to need to pull in some more topology going into there. And then merge you down there. Cut you. There we go. Probably afford to do that. Nah, I liked it better before. EDJR Morpheus 95. What is your opinion on LSD Dream emulator? And do you think it may have a pretty decent spot on Smash? Is that game with like the PS1 kind of style graphics? Chances are not great for any sort of representation in Smash, I would imagine. Are we allowed to put links in the chat? Just wondering, so I could maybe put an invite link for everyone who wants to be on the Discord server. You know what? Go ahead and post a link to the Discord server. I'm not going to be able to talk to anyone in there while I'm streaming, but I'm going to be done soon anyway. But yeah, feel free to pop the invite link into the chat. I mean, it's going to be public anyway in the next like 2 days or 1 day, so it's not a big deal. What are the specifications of your machine? I have a Mac Pro, like the Vader trash can looking dealio. It is the baseline specs for the Mac Pro. I couldn't tell you right off the top of my head. Let's see. 3.5 gigahertz 6-core Intel Xeon E5 processor with 16 gigs of memory. AMD FirePro D500 graphics card. There you go. I guess I was also showing my serial number, but I don't think that is a big deal. Oh, Ed Jr. Okay, that makes much more sense. Ed Jr. Favorite platypus boy? Who are you talking about? You're talking about Gene Nose Ancestor? Do I want to loot there? Yeah, might as well. Nope, not you. Sometimes I move way too fast for my own good. Let's see. Let's do a little shortcut, bridge these. To make my life easier. And bring that up. Whoops, not you. All right. Let's try to make some progress here. Maybe I'll finish retopologizing the hair tonight before I end the stream. Kuno was asking if there will be a Discord. Yes. How's the link been posted? There it is. Poco posted it. Gather around, everybody. The Discord link right there. Been streaming for 2 hours and 14 minutes. What to do next? Maybe drag these two. I need to get a glass of water, I think. You know, I'm gonna go do that. I'll be right back. Just gotta get myself some water. Stay hydrated. All right, got my water. That's gonna fall off if I don't put it somewhere safer. Okay. All right, get rid of that. And keep on trekking. All right. Where's my chat? Somebody mentioned Beppis. What am I doing? Oh, maybe there. You guys have any TV shows that you're watching? I've been rewatching The Office lately. Not sure why. No real reason. I actually started on like season 3 or something, and then I watched all the way through the end, so now I'm looped back around and I've started to watch from the beginning. And I'm also pretty excited about the new Stranger Things season that's coming to Netflix pretty soon. Any recommendations? I don't have actual like cable service for TV. I didn't feel like I needed it, so I didn't bother. But if there's something available on the internet or on Netflix or something, I might be inclined to watch it. DuckTales 2017 is the only show you watch, Meph. I only watched the first episode, but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. Yeah, I haven't really been watching any proper TV for years. I haven't had access to anything, just whatever's online. Carla Henry, what are you saying? What comment are you talking about? Is it the one about images being saved to Discord? or saved to your computer from Discord, I would have to imagine that they clear that cache at some point. Because yes, it caches the images on your computer, I would imagine, but that's just for efficiency's sake. I don't imagine that it'll do that for eternity. And if so, you can probably clear it yourself by going into the program files. Poco's asking, thoughts on Cuphead on Switch? I am going to pick it up, yes. I definitely want to play that game. It looks gorgeous. Looks fun. Looks challenging. All of my favorite things. Let's see. I'm starting to lose steam, I think. Probably gotta end the stream soon. Don't know if I'll finish the hair. Starting to lose momentum, I think. Streaming takes a lot out of you, I find. It's pretty demanding. If I had like support staff that could be running all of the, technical aspects of it, probably would be a little bit less stressful, but people kind of probably underestimate the amount of energy that it takes to just stay talkative while trying to do a task like this. Math is asking, are you the only one who remembers There Will Be Brawl? What was... That name rings a bell, but I can't remember what it was. What was that? Was it a web comic? No, I'm thinking Brawl in the Family. That was good stuff. I liked Brawl in the Family. What is There Will Be Brawl? Somebody refresh my memory, please. The Grave Knight's asking, did you see the Smashified comments I left on YouTube and DeviantArt? If it was on DeviantArt recently, probably not. I haven't logged on in a long time. If it was on YouTube, maybe I saw them. I see a lot of comments. But lately I haven't really been checking on Smashified episodes, so maybe not. Mario's a really hard game. I don't know if I would agree on the really hard. I can have its challenges, but if you're being facetious, then I guess that's your prerogative. Mario, there's a fair share of levels from older Mario games, and then stuff like Champion's Road that's legitimately challenging from 3D World. But on the whole, I would say Mario's made to be pretty accessible. I feel like I have too many loops going in here, but maybe not. Probably is fine. I'll probably end up refining the topology on this mesh off stream. But I just wanted to give you guys a taste of the process. You can probably imagine that this is something that gets a little bit monotonous as far as watching it goes. I'm just gonna make a quad, cut it, bring it over here, maybe another loop cut there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoa, what did I just do? So that's closed. Okay, this offset is definitely a little bit too much. So I am going to reduce it just to get some sharpness back down. And then I'm going to go ahead and weight paint some of this. So I'm going to save. Object mode, weight paint. Is it large? Did I not add any of these to the, okay. Assign. There we go. What are you saying in the chat? I figured you might be joking about Mario, yeah. There Will Be Brawl was a machinima web series that gave a very edgy tone to Brawl. It was basically about crime and murder, and Link was the chief of police and a lot of weird stuff. I don't think I ever saw that then. Sounds interesting. Shiggy Diggy asks a very good question. Any idea when the other Curiomatic projects are going to go underway? Tomorrow. Tomorrow we're putting a video up. At least that is the plan. That means I'll be editing a little bit tonight. But yeah, we'll be doing Game Byte stuff tomorrow, so look forward to that. It's very exciting for us. All right. Getting somewhere. For those of you who are wondering what that view was, that was weight painting. It's basically a scale from 0 to 1. Each vertex has a weight, and 0 is represented by blue, 1 is represented by red, and the spectrum between blue and red is all of the values in between. So going from blue to green to yellow to red. Nope, not you. There we go. Dake Scrub Life. How often will videos be posted? As often as we can make them. No, I mean, we kind of want to get it like every 2 weeks. We want to get into a groove, but I don't know that I can make that promise. And maybe we'll try to do it more frequently. It kind of depends on what kind of videos are being made. We've got 2 in the pipeline right now. One for a Game Byte and one that's just for basically the process of creating the music for the Curiomatic channel trailer, which was an original piece. And we kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it because it was an interesting process for us. So that's going to be a thing. Let's see. Oh, Ouija, if you want to post art to the Discord server, there's always that. I'll post a link in the chat once I'm done. Poco, I think, already posted a link to the Discord server, but I will do the same once I'm done streaming. The Grave Knight says, sorry, it seems like I flooded your chat with Smashified requests. Everybody's got a lot of ideas for Smashified, so it's not anything I'm not used to at this point. But be aware that there's probably not going to be that many characters Smashified from this point forward. It'll probably be in like the single digits, maybe double digits if we're lucky, or if we move well into 2020, but I don't imagine it'll be that many characters. When it comes to ReSmashified, I don't know that there will be that many either. Mostly I'd be interested in taking ones that are 2D and bringing them into 3D. Or, in the case of something like Kumatora, maybe just taking that 3D model that they already have and just upraising the model and textures. Oops. Waluigi Fanatic says, I think for sure we're getting a Microsoft rep in Smash. I hope it's Banjo, but honestly I wouldn't mind if it was Master Chief or Steve. Unpopular opinion. You'd probably be in the minority when it comes to Steve. And given, you know, I'm sure plenty of Nintendo fans enjoy Halo, but given the sort of console war nature of that character, I imagine it's also somewhat unpopular among Nintendo fans. But I would say Master Chief is deserving of it from a purely, you know, iconic standpoint. Like, I don't know if it's likely, but I think it would make plenty of sense for that to be a thing. I don't like the way this is twisting. I'm gonna bring these up a bit. You know what, I'm just gonna get rid of these two and then extrude it differently. I'd also like to have 3 going into here, not just 2. Oh, I'll just add a loop cut there. It's not like it's all that dense to begin with. What would you think about Rystar being a Smasher? A fighter in Smash, rather? Pretty niche at this point. I don't know that it's all that well known. For those of you who aren't aware, Rystar was a Sega character, I think, from back in the 90s. But I don't think the game got that much traction. I only know of Rystar because I remember seeing so many sprites, like sprite rips of him back in the day when I was doing a lot of pixel art of Sonic characters. I mean, I don't disagree that Master Chief is not outside of the realm of possibility. I just think, given that he's never been on a Nintendo console in any capacity, I mean, the same can be said of Cloud, almost. He's only been in, like, spin-offs in Nintendo consoles, like Chain of Memories. But, given that we've got characters like Joker coming in, and he hasn't been on a Nintendo console, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's certainly not impossible. But I don't think that Nintendo fans are particularly anxious to see that happen. That's better. Banjo is so dead, says Meth. So seeing him return in any way would be more surprising than Chief. Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, I don't know. They're both surprising for different reasons. So, really hard to say. I think I'll finish the top of the hair before I end the stream, but I probably need to be going fairly soon so I can get to editing so that you guys can see that game bite. Joker was in his spin-off for the 3DS, but that was it. Oh, okay. Hey, Ronald Templeton. How's it going? You guys can probably tell by my my demeanor at this point that I'm getting pretty tired at this point. Definitely need to stop soon. I don't like the topology here. One sec, I need to switch to trackball. Delete. Let's do that. That's better. Wait, did I just literally create the same exact topology? I did. Delete this edge, then do that. Okay. Not sure that I love that. I think I might go back. Starting to question some choices that I've made. Let me get rid of these. Let's see. New Parappa game, says Waluigi Fanatic. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if you guys saw the Parappa that Andrew did in the reveal trailer. He did a 3D model, like a non-flat 3D model of Parappa with some interesting sort of non-photorealistic style going in there. It was pretty interesting. It was actually for a contest that none of us actually ended up finishing. Oh, I think Andrew finished his, but I did not finish mine, and Sean did not finish his. But both my and Andrew's entries for that, or potential entries, were in that reveal trailer. The Donkey Kong and the Parappa are the two in question. I think what I'm going to do is extrude that up. And then do the same here. And then do that. Let's see, what can I do with the topology over here? I think I'm going to bring these four over here, and then here. That seems to make more sense. That's literally what I had before, isn't it? Oh boy. Let me do a cut there. There's a weird pole there. I don't know if I love that. I'll just close it for now and then refactor it when I get off stream. Alright, and then extrude here. Bring this over here. That seems pretty okay. I think that works for now. I think this is probably as far as I'm going to get tonight. Again, retopologies can be a little bit of a long process that's not all that interesting to watch, which is why I was sort of hesitant to do it, but I know DJ Fed at least wanted me to do it, so I guess for the sake of letting people see the process, because it's usually something that we kind of skip over on typical like Smashified episodes, so the entire underside of this hair is got to still be retopologized, but I'll probably just finish that off stream so that you guys don't have to endure that process again. Hopefully it's been interesting. There's some really weird topology happening back here. But, or lumpiness, I should say. Let's see. Donut Kimmy, yes, Origin and Rayman Legends music is very goofy. Arctic Blue says, this is why I want Omni to make a parry model. Not only will we get a beautiful model, but we will get amazing music. I don't know what music I'd be playing, but I could try it. Not super game related, but could be fun. Maybe I could do that on my personal channel. Although, given how many projects I currently have on my plate, probably never going to happen. Meth, I'm also sad that Imogen isn't a spirit. You know what I actually want to do? I want to make 3D versions of all of the characters from Doki Doki Panic. In fact, I kind of want to remake the opening cutscene of Doki Doki Panic in 3D. This is something I've been thinking about for a long time. You want me to create Perry's theme? Does Perry have his own theme song? Would it be a remix or an original track? I'm going to make some adjustments to these eyes real quick. I think I'm going to make the eyelashes a texture rather than a separate mesh, just so that the blinking can handle that on its own. Alright, well, we got pretty far. Got the head completely done, and then got most of the hair done, at least the broad strokes of it. So, I think I'm going to be wrapping it up, guys. Let's see what people are saying in the chat as I start to bring this to a close. You know, Arctic, if you pester me about it, it'll probably make me less willing to do it. So keep that in mind. I don't tend to take well to people repeating themselves about something that they want me to do. Oh, I'm just gonna leave this right here for the people to look at. And where is, get rid of you. So this is where we landed on the stream, guys. We got this much done. And if I rotate it well, like this, it almost looks like it's completely done. Alright, so this was productive, I think. Looking forward to more work on this as hype voice acting. Rayman deserves to be in Smash, and this model looks amazing so far. I'm glad you guys are liking it. I was kind of insecure about my interpretation of the head shape based on, you know, sort of a mix of Rayman 3 and Origins and Legends, but I think I came to a nice happy medium. And once it's actually rigged, I'll be able to do some variation on the hair here because I don't like it being perfectly symmetrical. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do the back strands. I'm going to have to disrupt some of the topology here to do those. That's okay. It's not going to be difficult. Not going to be difficult. In fact, I might even just record that and then tack that onto the back of the stream recap, which we're going to do. The recap for part 2, I never actually finished editing, so that's going to be up soon too. But once I finish retopologizing this, I'll just probably put it on the recap of part 3. Oh yeah, the house model. Let me pull that up real quick, but just for the sake of not revealing too much of my files, I'm just gonna hide everything for a sec. Let's see, where is my house? Open. Let's see. There it is. All right. It is opening. So here's a little tour of my house. Isn't that something? Oh, it's second. Oh gosh, that's really struggling. All right, I'm gonna have to turn off look dev. Okay, well, I guess that's the best I can do. So, here is my house. This is me zooming out. I'm not going to be able to show the materials because it's too slow on my computer. But the main reason I'm doing this is so that I can do planning on the remodel of my house. And one of the big things is the addition of a bathroom. And that is right there. You can see the toilet, you can see the sink. There's a shower back here. So this is my house. There's this is my bedroom where the bathroom's being added. This is the master bedroom right here. And then this is going to be the office / studio where I'm going to be doing all of my streaming from. And also, here's the living room. Here's the kitchen. Here's the other bathroom that's already there. Laundry room, hallway. Nice jail cell. You know, these are studs. These are the wood studs below the drywall. I'm sure you were aware of that already, but I just wanted to clarify. No, we have a bathroom already. It's this room over here, but we wanted to add a second one because this one has some problems. It's perfectly functional, but the tub / shower has some issues, so we need to get that fixed. But we wanted to just go ahead and add a second bathroom, which because it's going to be nicer than the existing bathroom anyways, and it'll be more convenient once we move in to have this bathroom because it's adjacent to both of our bedrooms. My brother and I are going to be the ones moving into here. So, yep, that's my house. There it is. Andrew, do you want the detailed stud measurements? Where are you out of work now? You could have been in the chat if you wanted to be. But yeah, the stream is ending anyway, so yeah, that's it. So I guess this is a weird way to end the stream about Rayman, but this is it. So thanks everybody for coming by. Always a pleasure to be talking with you as I'm working on stuff. Makes it a little bit easier to relax, despite the stress that it also adds on my performance, but it is nice to be able to interact with everybody. So, until the next stream, which will probably be Rayman again? I'm not actually sure. Maybe it won't be. It probably won't be Pokemon either. I am going to pick that back up again with the Pokemon, but I want to get a little bit more practice with the Blender hair stuff before I do that. So maybe I'll start on a re-rendered project on stream. Another re-rendered project. I don't know, we'll figure it out. So yep, that's it guys. Thank you as always, and I was thinking about this whole like stay curious thing. It occurred to me that, you know, one, it's already a thing that's said on a lot of other educational channels. It's not all that unique. And I think the bend of our channel, like the entire point, is to not just be curious about things, but to do something with that curiosity. So don't just be curious, do curious. You like that? Bad grammar? You like mottos with bad grammar, slogans with bad grammar? Yeah, anyway. That's it guys. See you next time.